Living in the lands surrounding the towering peak of Mount Targon is to embrace a life of hardship in search of meaning and higher purpose. To live upon the mountain itself is to invite the glittering mist that weathers the summit, bringing with it beings of otherworldly origin. One such tribe that seeks the divine is the Rakor, living at the very limits of human endurance, owning their warrior skills to fight the war that will take place at the end of the world. Meaning tribe of the last sun, the Rakor believe that many worlds have existed before this one, and that when this sun is destroyed, there will be no more. To them, battle is an act of devotion, and blood spilt an offering to keep the sun's light shining. It was in the harsh environment of the towering mount that Leona mastered the sword and shield, learning how to fight from the moment of her very creation. Like all Rakor before her, she was tasked with destroying the creatures that the mist brought down the mountain.
Ever vigilant.
Though she was fascinated with the mist, it did not keep her from her duty, till one day a golden-skinned boy with horns and bat-like wings came wandering down the mountain peak. It was clear to Leona that the creature was lost and frightened. Leona could not bring herself to draw her blade against the helpless creature, choosing instead to lead the boy to a pathway leading to the summit, watching as he walked into a ray of sunlight and vanished before her eyes. A boy named Atreus accused Leona of failing in her duty to the sun. She did not dispute the claim, and per Rakorian law, she was sentenced to trial by combat. Leona would face Atreus in the fighting pits beneath the light of the sun's judgment. Taking up her shield and sword, the fight would start, both suffering from many wounds, before an elder of the Solari marched into Rakor and intervened. The Solari were adherents of a martial faith built around the worship of the sun. The elder spoke of a dream that led him to the Rakor, and an ancient Solari prophecy that spoke of a warrior whose fire burned brighter than that of the sun, a daughter of Targon who would bring unity to the celestial realm. He believed Leona to be that daughter of Targon, though the tribal leader did not like it. He respected the Solari and paid heed to their holy decrees. Leona would be taken to the Solari's temple, where she would be fully instructed in the way of the Solari. It was here in the towering citadel on the eastern slopes of Mount Targon that Leona would spend her days learning the ways of the sacred order of the Solari. However, it was not until the day she was asked to escort a young member of the Solari to the heart of the temple that her life would change forever. Her name was Diana, and she was well known as a troublemaker around the temple. She had gone missing months before, and returned now with a shimmering rune that glowed upon her forehead. She claimed to bring great news and revelations that would shake the Solari to its foundations. Once escorted to the elders, Diana spoke of the Lunari, an ancient order much like the Solari with a faith belonging to the moon. She spoke of how the truths the Solari clung to were incomplete. She described a realm below the mountaintop, a place where the sun and moon were not enemies. When the elders rejected her words and named her a blasphemer, Leona knew it would be her blade that ended the heretic's life. But before she could react, Diana hurled herself forward, and blinding light exploded from her hands. The elders burned to dust in an instant in silver flames. Those same flames then turned and blasted Leona from the chamber, knocking her unconscious. When she awoke, she knew what she had to do. She would hunt down and destroy the heretic. Diana would be easy enough to find. She left a trail of shimmering footsteps behind her. They led Leona further and further up the mountain, higher than she had ever been. Seconds seemed to drag into days, and the sun and moon passed overhead in a blur. It was as if many nights and days passed with each breath. Upon reaching the peak of Mount Targon, she found waiting for her on a rock the golden-skinned boy she had helped all those years ago. He spoke, telling her he had been waiting for her since that day, and that he hoped she was not too late. He held out his hand and offered to show her miracles, and to know the minds of the gods. Leona smiled, and took his hand as he led her into the light. A column of searing illumination stabbed down from the heavens and engulfed Leona. She felt an awesome presence filling her with terrifying power and forgotten knowledge from the earliest epochs of the world. Her armor and weapons burned to ash in the cosmic fire, and were reborn as ornate warplate, a shield of sunlight wrought in gold, and a sword of chained dawnlight.
Chosen of the sun.
The warrior who came down the mountain looked the same as the one who had climbed it, but inside, Leona was a new being, filled with purpose. She still had her own thoughts and memories, was still the master of her own flesh, but a sliver of something vast and inhuman had chosen her to be its mortal vessel. She was gifted with incredible powers and an awful knowledge that weighed heavy on her soul. Knowledge she could only ever share with one person. Now, more than ever, Leona knew she had to reunite with Diana.
The sun always rises.